Ladies and gentlemen, in DJ Nave's words, boys and girls, welcome to another Pitchside podcast. We have a guest. We do have a guest, Masilane Mamabulo. Please introduce yourself, Abuti.
Yeah, sure. Masilane Mamabulo. What do I call myself? Because I'm here with football, I'm a soccer journalist. Been a soccer journalist. I mean, before you boys were born. Now look, I've been writing football. He knows.
Okay. He knows. Man. We at the launch of the Culling Black Label Knockout. But before we get into the gist of the cup itself, I think we just learned the sad news of the passing of Coach Neeskens, and and you also know him as a coach. Can you please tell us a little bit more? What type of a person was he?
Look, I think let's start as him as a coach. I mean, he came to South Africa. It was a big deal for all of us. I mean, when Dr. Patrice Motsepe took over Sundowns, he just changed the way he ran the club and hired this big-name coach, Johan Neeskens. I mean, a great of the Dutch football. And I think a lot of us expectations were Sundowns would be amazing under his leadership. But I think in terms of what he did for the club, you guys will know, you worked with him. But from where I was sitting, I think he didn't do as much as we expected him to do. Having worked with him as a journalist, coming to the training sessions, I found him to be very aloof. And I think it's typical European coaches, very hard to get to. You ask questions, the response is often very, terse. It's like he cuts you off a lot. So in terms of him coaching here, he was very hard to get. I think I would say his time at Sundowns was not as successful as we hoped him to be. As a player, one of the greatest that's ever played the game. I think the Dutch, the biggest unfortunate thing about Dutch football is that they've never won the World Cup. But I have this vivid memory of Neeskens' 1974 World Cup. Germany against Holland in Germany, West Germany. And you must watch that tape. Kick off, the match starts, the Dutch starts the match, an attack before any German player could touch the ball. And there was a penalty, and Johan Neeskens scored that penalty. And that memory always lingers, that he scored that penalty, but the sad thing was they ended up losing 2-1. But he then played in the other World Cup, the 1978 World Cup, which they also played against host nation. They reached the final. They didn't win again. But a guy who played in 2 World Cups never won them, with Johan Cruyff. I mean, he was teammates with the great Johan Cruyff. They are the team that started what was called total football. Johan Neeskens was part of the team that changed the way football was played. And I think, world football has lost a man who gave it a lot.
I think Lorona, there's a lot that we're going to say about him as a coach, the type of changes that he was trying to implement at the club, and the methods that he brought with. It's just unfortunate that the stint Sahai never lasted that long. And also he came into a very difficult Mamelodi Sundowns at the time, where I think personally there was a lot of player power within the structure itself. And as much as he was so good in terms of tactics, in terms of his ideologies, it's just that sometimes good coaches don't get to win certain things. They don't get to change certain things. And I think we also, like at Sundown, we still have the culture of just signing so many players without ambition of helping actually the team to become the great team that it was. But for the fact that I got this insight of Coach Neeskens as a player, we really, really appreciate the fact that you're actually educating us in terms of what is it about him. And in Al-Shompo, we're still waiting for Diani, who will actually speak about him as a coach. And it's just a sad thing that we learn about his passing. May his soul rest in peace, and condolences to the family.
I think, look, like you say, the biggest challenge as South African football has always been that. I mean, you remember, you guys also had Stoichkov. Too often when these European coaches get here, they find it takes time. And I think it's up to clubs to sometimes have patience with them so that they can implement what they do. Because we'll say he failed at Sundowns, but that does not say he wasn't a good coach. It's exactly that.
It's so unfortunate because when you speak about him and the things that he used to do and make us to do a training session, you would swear that this guy is actually a very, very good coach. I learned a lot about him. I didn't know much about him before I came to Sundowns.
Of course.
And then I learned that he was a great of the greats.
Yeah.
And as you said, you were speaking about 1974, Nalitiko shame.
No, listen, I was born then, but but you see what I've done, guys. I have all the tapes of all the World Cups. Right? So those kind of things.
Yeah.
So you saw the hands of God.
It's the greatest World Cup that's ever been played. I think.
Okay.
So those are the things. I think I love football, and there are things that happened before I was born. Like I said, I was born in 1974, but I have the tapes. I've watched all that, and that's how I know of Neeskens and all those things. And I think that's what we should all do. You don't say, "Oh, I wasn't there, I don't know." But
No, Mr. Mamabulo, thank you very much for your presence. Thank you very much for the insight you've given us. Thank you
so much.
Masanda Wana, we're still here at the Cullen Black Label Knockout Launch, and we are joined by Karen, representatives from Cullen Black Label. Good afternoon, Carol.
Hello, hi.
How are you, Karen?
Good, thank you.
Good, thank you. Can you please elaborate and tell us a little bit more about the cup competition this season, and what are the expectations from you guys?
Super interesting. So I think you just mentioned knockout and cup. So let me just explain a little bit about how those two things interact. So today we launched the Carling Knockout, which features all 16 teams in the PSL. The winner of the Carling Knockout Cup then plays a team that is voted for by the fans. That's called the Carling All-Stars, and that is the refreshed Carling Cup. That will happen, excitingly, on the 21st of December in Orlando Stadium this year.
Oh, nice.
Orlando Stadium?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Home of football.
No, I'm being hated in that stadium. So am I allowed to come? So are you going to arrange the security guard for me?
I'm not going to arrange anything. I'm not going to arrange anything, but we would love to have all fan representation there. I think that's what's amazing, is that the All-Star team is made up of different teams. And that's what makes it so special and different, is that you don't have to choose one team. You can have a combination of these kind of PSL team players and Disky players playing together. It's such a unique fixture. It's like nothing else we see.
Yeah, it's a very interesting fixture. And also just to ask this, from last season, did you guys were able to reach your targets? And what is it that you guys are expecting this season, this time around, with all the teams, with all the excitement? And also, can you please also maybe educate the fans as well as to what does the voting system work? How does it work to be able to vote for that man of the match, and also to be able to select the players that will be able to play in the PSL 11?
I think that's a really important question. So this time a year ago, we launched the Carling Knockout, and it was important for us that we reinvigorated the game. And we did that through a few initiatives. We are bringing those initiatives into this year. Why? Because last year we received more than 3 million consumer votes.
Oh, nice.
So that really just shows that the fans are interested and they're excited by this. So there's a lot going on. So let me break it down for your listeners. So there are 4 ways effectively to vote. The first is for the Carling All-Star team. Now that is the 23-man squad that is made up solely by votes of the fans. The starting lineup there being 6 PSL players and 5 Disky Challenge players. Then on top of that, there's man of the match. 10,000 Rand is available for every single game, and that is voted for by the fans. Then there's Faki Golu Zubona, and that was a real innovation last year that sought to encourage early goals and bring the flair back to football. And how that works is that there's 90,000 Rand at the start of the game, and that drops as the minutes of the games pass. The fan that accurately predicts which team and in which minute they score goes into a draw to win that money. So does the team that scores. So what's really exciting is that all of this is available in the same way that we've always voted for. Via Carling promo pack, star 120, star 660, star your unique code and hash, and follow the prompts. Man of the match is interesting. That's a free vote. So there's so many ways for our champion fans to get involved.
So now with the coaches that are going to be coaching the PSL 11, how does the selection go through? Because last season it was Coach Ribeiro, that is a Orlando Pirates coach. This season, are we trying to change or
So that's really interesting. So that's another way to vote. It's called the champion coach, and that is a free vote. And that really is to say, okay, of this Carling All-Star team, this team that is made up of different fan choices, which of the 16 PSL coaches do we believe, or do the fans believe, will be the strongest on that day? So that's the champion coach. So that's decided for by the fans.
Karen, last season there was this, for lack of better word, controversial how they choose the man of the match. Can you please maybe clear that out for the supporters or the viewers at home? Who chooses the man of the match?
So, as a brand like Carling Black Label, we have spent 13 years building a legacy of empowering the voice of the champion fans. So in short, the man of the match is chosen for by the fans.
By the fans.
And that's really important. And to give the fans their credit, last year, the team they created for the Carling All-Stars went on to beat the Carling knockout winners. So they just showed that they know what they're talking about. And their love and passion for this beautiful game came true. And really also some of those Diski players that they brought into the All-Stars, they went on to be promoted within their leagues. So really, we give those champion fans a voice, and the man of the match is no different.
So this competition, if you clear it up for us, can you say it's for the fans?
As a brand, Carling Black Label, everything we do is to empower the voice of the champion fan. This whole tournament is designed around bringing real innovation that puts the fans at the center, but also that gives players and clubs more exciting reasons to up their game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the tournament itself this season. It was exciting last season, even though with all the new rules and the new engagement, especially the fans. Whenever the fans are involved, we can always see that they start coming back to the stadiums, and we can also see it translated as well into this season. And thank you very much for giving those insights. And we're looking forward to actually having a good tournament this season. Thank you very much.
Thank you, team.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you so much.
We are still here at the launch of Carling Black Label. We do have KG. Welcome, KG.
Thank you.
Also, you realize that we are drawn with the Golden Arrows playing at home. You remember also last season we were knocked out. The first game, very disappointing. What are your expectations this season for the club, and what do you think of the draw?
I'm happy about the draw. And this season, I know we will be more focused because last season we were focusing more on AFL.
Yeah.
So hence we were knocked out of the first round.
Yeah.
So I hope the coach uzofaki gas. And the players bazofaki goal. And it's I'm a supporters. Sizofaki I'm a vote. I'm happy. I'm happy about it.
KG, my question would be, as a supporter, what do you promise the players this season, or in this tournament rather?
I hope that the supporters, as we are pushing them, because in the stadium we are the 12 men.
Yeah.
So and the players, they always need us.
Promise.
They always need our support. I hope we will increase the number of 57 at least to 80. And Sundowns has supporters. It's just that the supporters,
Sundowns. We saw it when we won the league first time.
Goal of Dust.
We were shocked.
Exactly.
But
But
can we do that again?
We can. I know we can.
I'm sure we will.
We will.
I'm sure this season things will change, and I think fans now, because we've been complaining and we've been crying and we've been pleading with the fans to come back to the stadiums, and we've seen this season there's no disappointment. There's so much numbers. I just hope that you guys are able to see you Agadala, Golden Arrows at home, and that 12th man, especially this season, which I believe is going to be very tough. We're going to need you guys to be able to encourage the boys, give them moral support, especially when things are getting a little bit tougher, to be able to believe and make them believe, because we've got so many new players that still need to acclimatize. So we'll be able to give them that type of energy.
And KG, do you know that every match for Mamelodi Sundowns is so important?
Very much so.
That's why we need supporters to rally behind the boys.
No,
because
we will fight.
You guys are so important, like the matches. So if we don't have those people on the stand, it means we don't have the play.
True that.
Because who are we entertaining? Because we have to entertain you.
You entertain us.
So please, can you guys strive this season?
We will try our best. We will push the members, because as a Sundowns, we know we rise, we rule, and we
We rule. I like that rule.
Thank you very much, King. Thank you very much for gracing us with your presence. We're hoping to see you soon in the stadium.
We'll do. Thank you.
Now we are joined by one of our legends, Tiani Sukiri Mabunda. How are you, Chief?
Nice.
Right.
Alright, Brak.
Yeah, kasha.
Nalimdise.
Jaga taro go.
Ngomsoro tla utla Zambano.
Okay. Yeah. So,
Mudise, you're looking good, mate.
Eh?
You're looking good.
Thank you, sir. It's the yellow color, sir.
That's one of the t-shirt zakal za gago.
Yeah.
Okay, maro ya umungu ka ra iswa laro.
Look, man, we've discovered the sad news of one of our former coaches, Coach Neeskens. I played under Coach Neeskens. He made me the captain of Mamelodi Sundowns at the time. And yeah, man, I think he's one of the few guys that introduced a different system into Mamelodi Sundowns team. Because I remember the first time we never played with original 6. Elia Omaka, we started playing with Surprise. As a deep-lying playmaker. So he introduced, a 3-man midfield with a 6 and 2 8s. And it was very new to us, and we knew of him because of he was involved also in Barcelona in the youth development. I knew of him because I was coached also by Kroll on the other side. He told me about him. They played together in the World Cup. So man, it's just a sad thing that we lost him, and because Sugar never really actually had to play under him. So what's your take of Coach Neeskens when we were at Mamelodi Sundowns?
I think you just touched on something that is very, very important in his philosophy and how he saw football in general. Not general Mudise, but in general, because he really was a strict guy in terms of tactics and in terms of zones. We never knew about zones, if you remember very well. The midfielders, he was very, very strict when it comes to that, because he really wanted us to play within those zones. But you could tell that he was different in how he saw football, and it's just that we were just unfortunate with the results and to reach the level that we wanted to reach. But you could see that he's the man that was very, very invested in the game, knowledgeable. He knew a footballer by just seeing the football, and by just see you, and it could easily change. Remember how he used to love Temba. But I really remember he was a very fun guy. I remember when he first saw me and Surprise, he said, if I didn't see you guys play, I wasn't going to sign you because of the walks. He said, guys, if I would see you guys working, I was going to sign you until I saw you guys play. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe let me give them the benefit of the doubt. But what a fight, man. We learned a lot from him. And it was just sad to hear that.
And I think also it's one of those coaches, because Utlileko teaming when I feel like there was a lot of players within Mamelodi Sundowns at the time. And there was a lot of unhappiness within the players that were not playing. I think at some point we had 2 squads.
Yeah.
When we trained, when we done, the other one will come through. But there was a lot of unhappiness. But when you thought that you have learned so much about football, there's nothing more to learn.
Until
he came in and he started teaching me certain things that I knew. And as Sugar, when at the time you were not part of the Mamelodi Sundowns. So when you looked at the team that was coached by Coach Neeskens, I also remember as well, we went to Power Lines, that heavy scoreline that we had, he was still the coach. What do you think was, what a difference did you see in terms of his coaching style and prior to him being there with other coaches that were there before him?
The time Coach Neeskens came there, it was you could see the ruthlessness in the team. You would see, like you say, there was a lot of uncertainties and unhappiness within but when the players got onto the field, what I liked the most was that he introduced those young players with Julius. He had so much confidence in Temba, and having confidence in the young players really gave it gave hope even for us when we were watching to see our peers are making it at the Sun. Is actually one of the reasons why started seeing myself as a Sundowns player when I saw the younger ones being given a chance, seeing Temba, seeing Bukavu,
he brought so many
all
people,
those people.
10 of them from the development, if you remember.
Brought a lot of players. So you had that hope to say, perhaps it's possible for one, even at a young age, to join a team like that. So having a person like that, having confidence in the younger generation, it really gave me personally hope. Even though I had not yet come to Mamelodi Sundowns, but I began to see myself in the colours, and eventually it happened.
Yeah, I personally had a close relationship with him. Because I think I was 6 months into Mamelodi Sundowns, and as soon as he came through, he called me to the office, and the first thing that he asked me, what was your relationship like, Lekrol? I'm like, oh, Modimo waka. Then we had to iron that out, and then he made me the captain, and he gave me jersey number 10 at the time. And yeah, man, we started, being closer, trying to understand the culture of South African players, South African style of play, the things that he wanted to implement, and his ideology into the game. And for those who don't remember, for those who are new into Sundowns, we went to 2 cup finals with him. We lost all those 2. The Telkom Cup, the Nedbank Cup. We lost 2.
Right, because remember when he was there, players could easily go and approach him and ask him about certain things, and he was very confident, and I learned there that there's different approach and the mentality in overseas coaches and the coaches that played football. Because when you look at him, as you said, you went to his office and you had a conversation there. I will have conversation even after training. I'll ask him, Coach, why did you want me to play with the back foot or facing the other way? He says it takes time when you're receiving, and he will break it down into details on how he wanted us to play. And the funny part is when I asked him that I was better than Busquets at the time. You know what he said? He said, KK, you are an energetic player. And I was like, okay, it means I can play for Barcelona. He said, no, but you can play as a centre back. I was like, why? He said, because we don't need energy, we need thinkers, people who can use the ball, not the energy. Just like, oh wow, that's something. And it was like, that's why we want Surprise to play as a 6. We want you to play as an 8. That's like, wow. So that's the reason. Oh yeah, because when we lose the ball, and he went deeper into Alena, and when they brought Paulino to Barcelona, and it's like, you see why we can't play Paulino as a 6? Because he's busy. He's
get out of position.
So you lose position because he's got energy. We want somebody who looks lazy but is not lazy. But he's on the ball is calm. I was like, oh.
Because he actually liked to emphasize the importance of having a deep line playmaker.
Oh yeah.
Because he's the person that orchestrates the build up. He's the person that he wants them to play facing where we're going to score. So he taught me so many things, and how, sometimes you thought you were crazy, like how to open your body, facing this direction, you receive in this way for you to get an advantage. Just also want to say condolences to the family, and we were lucky to be coached by Coach Neeskens. Now, guys, we are here at the launch, the launch of Carling Black Label Knockout.
Madiza, you keep calling it launch or launch.
Launch. I guess quite ngata. No
pronunciation. Utseni kai high. Dikulube high. So dikulube high pronunciation.
Can go drop off.
Oh, that's why we launch.
Tanda want to have.
Ne ban shofar ya koske.
Oh.
Next actually lift. Next kenye mo transport to.
Nara to le nani line ka. Ba ka kachiva na quick.
Jaga no na di chauffeur kana kwa.
No, because he keeps confusing me when he said lounge.
No, like okay, so now sugar.
We're talking about
we're talking about the Carling Black Label. So now we've drawn Golden Arrows playing at home. We were knocked out last season in the first game, and I also want us to touch into that because it is very controversial, but it's something that was out there. People spoke about it. Remember, the team came back. Other players couldn't come back from national team duty, but still we played TS Galaxy. We lost in the penalties. Now it's the new season. We've got a new man on the helm with this coach Mangoba. Where now do you see the team? What do you think of the fixture? What do you think of this tournament?
I think the tournament comes at a good time as well. Just after what happened in the first tournament, it gives us time to redeem ourselves. You can see now the team is starting to find its feet, and you can see the team is now gelling. So this is the right opportunity for us to redeem ourselves and get that trophy back. Remember, last season we were knocked out and we lost it. It was in our hands. So it's the right time for us to fix the errors of last season as well as the beginning of the season and carry on with the momentum we have.
I agree.
What's your take? Yeah?
I agree with him. You need to build the momentum with this, and in a knockout tournament, it's a very, very fragile space where there's no much room for those errors, and you know very well that every chance you need to take is a competition of goals. What interests me this time of the season is when I see the front players, in confidence, because they can see that's what the goal. You can see that they can score. They are confident in front of the goals, and you want to face the tournament like this when your strikers are on form. When you've got that rhythm in the midfield, when you're shutting that back door. So I think it's a very good period where we're finding ourselves in a high confidence team. Players want to redeem themselves, as Sugar is saying, after a slow start. But you just want to continue with this good form, because I've seen the matches where we build up from a good match to a greater match, and we're in the level where we can easily say we build. The rhythm is there. We just want to continue with scoring goals, and I think the more you score goals, the defenders will rest now. We'll have that sense of confidence. We'll have that sense of knowing when to do certain things, because the details of the games comes after when you can score anytime. And when you look at a player like Ribeiro, for instance, he's high on confidence.
Number 10.
You saw the goal that he's got in Calabash. A difficult goal to score, but you can tell that he's now clear in his mind what he wants to do in the box, what technique he wants to apply, and in moments like that, how big matches can choke some players. But you can tell that the team has grown into that confidence to say, we know what we are doing. We still remember that we are the defending champion of South African football. We just want to continue with this good run, and I'm excited about this fixture because we're even playing at home. I just want to go there and witness what's going to happen.
Like you guys were touching such an important point into redeeming ourselves, because it's been a while that Mamelodi Sundowns' name is on people's mouth. And I think there's a big opportunity. It's not going to be easy playing against Golden Arrows, which is also they're having a good season themselves, and also they'll want to do well also with themselves. And I think also it is a trophy that all the teams are capable of winning. So the champions, which is Stellenbosch, they won it as well, and they will also try to defend it this season. So Mamelodi Sundowns have an opportunity to redeem themselves, and I think this is the time. And I think with the break that we had, I think it's about reflection, because you want to have that little bit of a break, reflect, do your self-introspection, look at where you are as a footballer, look at where you are as a team, and readjust the maybe the targets of the season. You readjust them because now you're feeling a little bit better. You readjust them, like, okay, cool. Now we've got 1-2 trophies to go now. So what is it now? How then we navigate?
Navigator. The good thing in Navigator is the fact that the team now have tested this success of winning this tournament before with the previous sponsor. So that tells you the team is capable. And once you have tested this success, a player wants to be in that podium and receive that medal. Players now go into this tournament knowing very well that this is one of the trophies that we should take it to Chloroko. It's not going to be easy, as you said, but a match of arrows is going to be one of those matches where you have to win it and take you to the semi-final. From semi-final, you know what I mean. So I think we're in a space where we can easily say we've started afresh. in terms of approach and the navigation that you're talking about.
Yes.
Trying to put restart, and we're not restarting from nothing. We're restarting from what we have already, and the league has showed us that we can do more and we are capable of doing more. So I think the players going to this tournament, they should know, and they know that they are better than what they gave us in the beginning of the season. And going to this, they are under pressure to deliver. And I love the pressure that they are in, because you are under pressure, but you still have the same team that has won the difficult match in the last two weeks. So I think it's going to be very interesting how this pressure is going to be, rubbing around the team, because of course there's those players who knows how to play this difficult matches.
Big boys.
They call the big boys?
Big game players.
He used to love this match.
Hey, games are more tight. It's tough. Ramlahlela ratsora. Utlana kotlo ntsana ka instruction. Hey, retsa so.
And then as Trepeka
starts.
Okay.
Why
don't during your playing days you didn't come with this style? It was gonna be good, because I get that touch, and then how pretend.
No, but I had such hair convert. But you just didn't want to go to super sport.
No, you were young.
Yeah,
you don't remember those.
I've tried
He's gone back to his young days now.
I get it. They say life begins at 40.
We're not going to be here discussing my hairstyle. But also, you touched on something that is very, very important that I also want to pass to the players. It's a good pressure that we're in, and pressure, actually, it's true, makes diamonds. And I think we do have so many diamonds within the team. So many players that are important, so many good players that will play such a huge role in the team this season. And we do have opportunities to win every trophy that is in front of us. And then the competition is getting tougher and tougher. Teams are getting stronger. Fans are coming back into the stadiums. It's very, very exciting.
Such a great atmosphere.
And I think we are ready as Mamelodi Sundowns. We should be ready. We should be enthusiastic to go back into the pitch and actually prove once more how great we are. And Sugar, just your last message to the fans that needs to come to this particular game, this one of Golden Arrows and Mamelodi Sundowns, especially playing at home.
Masanda want to always know the mandate. They know that they are the driving force. Especially you've seen how the response came when they started once again chanting and singing in the stands, coming in numbers even during the difficult times. The boys lifted their heads, they started to play very well, and they gave us the results we needed. So it's another call once again to say supporters are we come to the stadium again, we fill it up. This time I think I'll go with the both of you to the stand, because nowadays skin supporter.
How will keep on the other teams? They always they also have the Sgubu.
So everybody has one.
Oh really?
Yourself.
Every team has one now.
After the match,
but you shouldn't be surprised, because then which means you are doing something great for people to duplicate that, which means you're doing something good. So because then you're the lead of the pack, you're up there, everyone wants to copy or duplicate what you're doing. So you need to always elevate. You always need to do better. And it's Mamelodi Sundowns, because you've been dominant for so long, you having an identity in terms of how you want to play. You need to always elevate, because people now, they know how you play. It's then how you elevate. That's why I'm saying the importance of so many players that are new within the team to give us that little bit of a dynamic that maybe last season we never had. And that's why I'm saying that this is going to be very interesting to see then as to then the approach that we have, in difficult games. Then how do we win? We saw in the last two games that the difficulties, but we managed to win. You want to have more of those, because the truth of the matter is those are the ones that count more. When you look back into the season, you're like, I remember that important game, the one that we never played that well, but the results, here we are. And I think we guys, we've experienced that as players from Mamelodi Sundowns in difficult situations, difficult circumstances, being able to come out and be able to reflect and say, that game was so important, was tough, but it actually helped us. And I think we're on the right track. We shouldn't panic. To the fans, I think come in numbers.
So
we should be, no flop.
So wapara suit?
Wapara. So.
Okay.
Practice
and the potato,
Mbone wena fela tsena fe.
Jean, it's all.
Jean didn't khathatsa. Hey, kgathatsa hore Jean.
So raparang a re fitla gape tshwantse ke jive.
Tshwantse re be yellow.
Okay.
Ka bo yellow.
No, we there.
Oh,
Yes.
that top ya Modise ya last time.
Yes. Or
Yes,
so,
remember the top?
wena ka mogoreleng. Right.
Remember that top? Ela o tlile ka yona go Pitchside wa kadima yone the Puma top. Ya go ba le hood.
Aya ke batle hoodie ka re le tlo iphitlha. Ke nyaka masanda bana ba le ba
No
le
problem.
We love you.
No problem.
Guys,
We're
thank
there.
you very much for gracing with your presence. Always a pleasure being with you. To Masanda and the fans, don't forget to subscribe and like and share your comments. It is the Pitchside Podcast.
We are Masanda forever.